Hello respected viewers, so I'm not going to film myself this time because I forgot my selfie stick. Here is an equestrian statue of George III. You can see him in the guise of a Roman emperor, complete with that toga and no stirrups on his mighty steed. It's a redolent of that of Marcus Aurelius, and you can see this horse is a stallion. Look underneath. Well, maybe there's not enough light for you to make out, but I can definitely see the testimonials there. Anyway, and then you see this Latin inscription. I hope you can make it out. On the screen it's not very clear to me. With the naked eye it's very easy to read. Giorgio Tertio Patri Optimo Georgius Rex, George III, the best of fathers, from King George, as in from George IV, his son. So, anyway, I'm going back here. Maybe it'll be easier to read like this. We're on Snow Hill, just south of Windsor Castle. Dead ahead up there, that is Windsor Castle. And so we're in the highest point for miles around Windsor Great Park. So George IV ordered this statue to be erected in 1821, or to be made. His father had died in January 1820. But it wasn't until 1831 that this equestrian statue was in fact put here. And it's been in situ ever since. But so by 1831, George IV had died, and his brother William IV was on the throne. Is that any clearer to you now? So it walked here, sort of dead straight to Windsor Castle, 3 miles, because a lot of people like to walk around here. I don't know what all this scree is doing around the pedestal. I thought, well, how on earth would they transport such a mighty bronze statue by Sir Richard Westmacott, the most famous bronze caster of the age? And look, they had the little mound they built up there, those stones that they've concreted together. Were these part of some sort of structure they built to winch into place? I'm not sure. Was the statue brought here in pieces and then assembled? I don't know, because it would have been an awful job to get it up here at the time. Because I suppose there is an access road, but it must be frightfully heavy. So here we are, and what a wilderness this Pleasance is. Windsor Great Park. And then it goes several miles south towards Virginia Water. Virginia Water is a lake. It's not a stretch of the Thames. As a schoolboy on the train, I was always seeing that station when I was on the choo-choo, and I just assumed that Virginia Water was a stretch of old Father Thames, but in fact it's not. There's a large American community around Virginia Water, one of the priciest places to live in the United Kingdom. So here we're seeing the rear of this equestrian statue, rather better illuminated, because anyway, so I'm just trying to think which is... So west is that away, and east is that away. So we're looking north that away, and back here is south. But so I thought that was south, but how come the sun is coming from that way? Are we into the afternoon already? Well, which would then more or less make me think that this is in fact west behind me. Have I got that wrong? How could I got that wrong? Because okay, north of Eton so north of Windsor is Eton, the other side of the River Thames, and beyond that is Slough. Anyway, so here it is. I highly recommend walking around. People are riding hard by. There's a statue of Her Majesty the Queen through these woods, about a mile or so, and slightly that away. And there's some wild herds of deer here, but they're not actually very fenced off. But the stags are all staying to themselves. I think they've managed to separate the stags and the does. So that is just a little bit about Windsor Great Park, and you're not allowed to cycle up that path. The long walk, which is 3 miles, dead straight. We're not very far from Heathrow Airport, as you can see, so it commands a magnificent vista over the Thames Valley and beyond. If it wasn't such a hazy day, or I could zoom in, you might be able to point out Heathrow Airport, which is in that direction. Egham and Staines are over there. Okay, so that's enough from me, George from Ireland, here at this equestrian statue of George III, having circumambulated it. So let's look up again and admire this splendid handiwork of the 1820s of the King of Ireland and King of Great Britain. Okay, I shall switch it off now. Toodaloo.